Cindy, thank you so much for being a co-host. I really appreciate you partnering up. I know it was your idea maybe a month or two ago to do it live on Instagram, but we can record this and also throw it on Instagram and on YouTube, and we'll build a library eventually, right? So
Yeah.
the funny story is that you pointed this out to me, and then my wife also has been bugging me to do this for last 6 months. And I'm like, no, I don't have time. I'm not gonna look good. I'm not gonna sound good. All these drunk monkey talks, right? So,
Uh-huh.
so credit goes to you. Credit goes to her that I'm here now, and I appreciate your partnership.
No problem. And thank you so much for choosing me to be a co-host with you
Yes.
on this new real estate journey we're starting together.
Yeah. Well, we started talking. We met via role play, right, through a Mike Ferry event.
How many years ago? Maybe like 5 years ago?
I want to say 3.5, 4, but
Okay.
it very well could be.
Yeah.
So time flies. We're
But I
doing
met you for the first time like less than a couple of months ago. That was
Yeah,
like the
not too
first
long
time
ago.
that I actually met you.
Right. So which was great. The other thing was, tell us about yourself before we get into it.
Well, I've been
So what county do you serve? How long you been in the business? Do you have a team? How big is your team? What is your goal? Short-term goal, long-term goal, and just what are your insights on today's market?
Awesome. Okay, so first of all, my name's Cindy Fernandez, and I'm a local real estate agent here in Tulare County. And I've been doing real estate for about 15 years, I would say. There was a point in my career that I kind of stopped counting the years, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 15 years.
Wow.
I have been the team part. I literally just started a real estate team last year when COVID kind of closed everybody's doors at the office. And there were some new agents that had just got licensed. And so, when you start real estate, you have all the support from like our company, such as training, but you really need that hands-on training.
Yeah.
So I decided to help one of the individuals that actually was leaving our office just because she was lost. She didn't know what to do, even though all the training was there for her. She just didn't know how to get the training and then use it in real life scenarios.
Mhm.
And so she was the one that kind of like ignited this fuel that I have to show people. I must have been like a teacher in my past life.
Right.
Because I really enjoy helping people grow.
Yeah.
Like my real estate coach helped me get to where I'm at now.
Yeah. So before we dig further, what counties do you serve?
I serve basically Tulare County, Kern County, and Fresno.
Oh, so you're serving Kern too now?
Yeah, but I specialize in Tulare County.
Okay,
So
fair
I
enough.
sold a handful of homes in the other counties,
Okay.
but I'm most likely here in Tulare County.
So everybody that's watching, any Tulare County referrals goes to Cindy.
The girl.
I serve Kern County, so anything in Kern County comes straight to me, all right? We're going to be on this journey together for some time. And this is one of the reasons why I chose Cindy, is because she's been around for 15 plus years. She has ample knowledge. And I've told her this handful of times that she has driven me and motivated me time and time where it has pushed me to go to another level. So I do agree. You do have skills, or I don't know what it's called, but you do improve other people's life. So I really appreciate it on the insights that you've given me and pushed me to the next level. So thank you.
I want to add to that, Alex.
Oh, go ahead.
You also have something to do with my success. So everybody,
I think that's just you being too humble.
No, seriously. I remember when I first used to role play with you, even though like I think you were newer in real estate and I had more years, but we both like had just started with the Mike Ferry system.
Correct.
So we were both like new in that career of coaching.
Right.
So you're amazing when it comes to role playing and the skills that it takes to be able to close a deal. Because every market, everybody could sell a house to their friends and their relative.
Right.
But you're in like real life scenario when you have competition and you're going against people that are good as you or better than you,
Yeah.
that you have to be skilled to be able to close that deal.
Right. Well, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. It means a lot coming from you. Let me ask you this. So the purpose of this whole podcast, Zoom call, it's not going to last too long. It's about 35-45 minute type of a deal. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'm going to send you a link. You're going to share it on your Facebook. I'm going to share it on my Facebook. But what I want to do is I want to provide values to our friends that are watching this, other agents in the office or in the community, and just talk a little bit more about real estate on a weekly basis,
Mhm.
on what's going on with the current market. How are things looking on your end? What have you learned that has helped you in your transaction from that specific transaction, or a success story, right? I mean, you were in tears earlier while talking to me on the phone about an appointment, So it's
But it was
stuff like
good
that, right?
tears. They were good tears. It wasn't like a seller or buyer made me upset. It was
Right.
just to be able to help someone that really needs your help. I think elderly people are my favorite.
Is that right?
I think old souls and I just connect.
So tell me more about that, right? Since we're already here, what made you connect? I mean, you were emotionally tied, and you just, it was happy tears. What made the connection so strong where you just, your
You know,
emotions came out?
this elderly guy, he's 86 years old, basically has nobody around him to guide him.
Okay.
Let's his wife passed away several years ago. That's kind of when I first met him at
Uh-huh.
the first initial appointment. So 5 years later, I'm back at his house,
Mm,
and as he's going over his house and how he built it and how like he learned how to do this, and it's a really nice piece of property, and we're walking the 5 acres with him, right? And he turned around and asked me like, how old are you? And I said, I'm 43. And
uh-huh.
he looked at me and he said, I'm 86.
Wow.
And so right there, I don't know, there was just something in that moment where I looked at myself 43 years, being his age, let's say, right? 86 years old,
Yeah.
and how proud he is about his accomplishments and everything he did and the life that he has lived to now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he just really, really like touched me. And I wanted to cry there with him because he was talking about, some emotional stuff. But I
Yeah.
had to be like that doctor, like when that doctor goes in and tells bad news to someone that might be dying, or, your loved one, I don't know, might have a limited time. And so
Yeah.
the doctor doesn't start crying with you, right? He's professional and he continues. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how I felt. And I don't know. It
Okay,
just
please don't start crying now, because I feel like your emotions are coming
so
out. So,
I got in my car and I just started crying. I'm like,
oh
oh my
my.
gosh, this is
Yeah.
like why I do real estate.
Yeah.
At the beginning, we all start that, I bet you anybody that's taking the real estate courses right now, they're doing it for the money. And I think we all start that way, right? We all want to get into real estate because you see like agents drive nice cars that you or at
Selling
least
sunset.
yeah, or at least you imagine they have these huge houses and anything that money could buy. But as your career, um as you start understanding why you really got into the business, money is the last thing.
Right.
It's helping that customer in need. So for
Yeah.
me, my biggest, instead of me trying to figure out, oh my, this is going to be a $600,000 sale, this is how much commission I'm going to make, that's like out of the equation. I'm there for him, knowing that he lost his wife. He had his son's like in, I think he said China, or he has like an awesome career that he's somewhere else.
Hmm.
He has nobody else but this
Wow.
professional here to be able to assist him to that next step, which is going to be a very emotional step. I mean,
Yeah.
his wife's pictures are still on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like his
Yeah.
furniture, all his 80 or whatever years, 41 years old, 41 years of living in this house now has to get packed up into like boxes to move it to a 1 bedroom. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Sad.
I
It's
don't
it's
think
a
there's
circle of life, I think. I mean,
it
we're
is.
all
It
gonna
is.
be there at one. We're
Correct.
all gonna be there at one point in life. I and I think the 21-year-olds are much faster, are moving at 1,000 miles per hour, and I guess as you grow older, you tend to slow down and appreciate things in life,
Appreciate.
which is the key, right? But what I want to ask you is, and I'll piggyback on it after too. So you said something like you spoke with this client 5 years ago,
Hmm.
right? And then he reached out to you.
Hmm.
That's a long time, right? I mean, there's been a lot of agents in between that came through. What have you kept in touch with them? Have you followed up with them constantly? What was your system like that, or tip would you would like to give to another agent from this particular listing that you got?
Actually, you know what's funny? Because at that time, I now I follow with my clients. Now I have a database which has made my repeated business grow so much. But
Yeah,
he wasn't part of that database. I would be lying to you and the people that are listening to me.
yeah,
I really think that it was when I first met him, had to be that we connected. He had just lost his wife. I
yeah,
think at that time I probably stayed over an hour with him,
yeah.
and maybe something that I said or something that he remembers me, that he called me 5 years later.
Wow,
Um, so
man, that's
that's
a blessing.
something I said
You,
had to
you,
be
yeah, like your personality, maybe something you said. I mean, I think you show up to an appointment dressed well, I'm sure, and presentation probably lasting impression, right? And that's what left behind. I'm thinking, I'm the same way when it comes to older clients. You have to slow down a little bit. You have to sit down and talk to them. You have to listen to what they say. Absolutely be respectful, of course. I mean, whether it's older or younger client, you're always supposed to be
correct.
respectful. And just, I think if you listen to them, what they have to say, and not rush the process,
Hmm.
you'll win the transaction. You'll have a customer satisfaction. They'll be happy camper, and they'll absolutely refer you new business.
And people could feel that. People
Yes.
know when you're true and when you're not. When I'm there, like especially like with every client, but especially when you have like the elderly client, like I want to connect with them.
Right.
I'm not looking at my cell phone. I'm not in a hurry, like you just said. I
Yeah.
slow down, even the way I speak. I
Yeah.
slow down. I'm
Yeah.
more about listening because I want to know what the biggest concerns
Yeah.
are.
And I
So
struggled with that when I started in the business first, because I was like, go, 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 go,
because you're
go, go.
a driver, you're like a little rabbit. So
Yeah. Like,
my personality too.
yeah. So I was like, let's go, go, go. But I've come to realize where I lost a deal or two like that, and that's when I said, hey man, I gotta take a step back. I really should listen to what these people have to say. Not be there for 4 or 5 hours, of course, but it's not gonna 15 minutes is not gonna cut it. 30 minute might not cut it. It
Yeah.
might be a 45, 50-minute meeting, which is fine, right? But not all clients are the same. They all have different personality. We have to adapt to their personality, right? Some are amiable, some are
Adapt to their
driver.
personality, and you have to adapt to their tonality.
Absolutely.
Slow down. So that's
Yeah.
what I try to teach some of the agents here at the office.
Yeah.
If you have a driver, you can't be showing them analytical graphs
Mm-mm.
and stats. They don't care. Give them
They'll
the
fall
price.
asleep.
Yeah, give them the price. Where do they need to sign? Because they're in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm the driver type of person.
Yeah.
When you have someone like them, then your tonality has to slow down. You
Yeah.
have to kind of match their level of voice
Right.
and relax. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I always try to like learn stuff from different people. And today that lesson of he
Life.
was saying how beautiful the sunrise and the sun. He was trying to say that not only am I selling his house, but I'm selling him the sunset and the sunrise and the view. And I was like,
Wow.
oh,
Oh my
and
God.
to a younger, they don't care about that.
No.
But when you start thinking of that, you're like, God, do you imagine you have your room the way his room is, and you see the sunset from one side,
Yeah.
and this, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Very
I completely see your point. So and you're a little bit older than I am, so I think
little bit.
level. Yeah. the level of maturity is there, right? Where you really start appreciating these smaller things in life, right? The something as simple as a sunrise or a sunset, right? So
Correct.
which is great. But you know, we only have about 15 more minutes. So
Okay.
the other thing I want to touch on is the commission breadth, right? I think you said it right. A lot of agents get into the business and they're get into it for money.
Mhm.
Um, but I think as time
We all
progressed,
start that way. I think we all start that way.
yeah,
Because, when I started real estate, I always thought realtors were like I had said earlier, glamorous and all that.
yeah,
And now we know that it's not true.
it's not true. It's absolutely not true. There's a lot more to it that goes into the business, right? A
Yeah.
lot of relationship building and a lot of keeping up with clients. Just I called a client yesterday on her
Uh-huh.
6 month anniversary, and the whole transaction was nice and smooth. And I represented her in purchasing the property, and there was one hiccup at the end. There were some repair items that needed to be done. The sellers did do them.
Yeah.
Seller did hire somebody to get them done. Unfortunately, the person he hired did not do it right. It was a band-aid job, basically, right?
Got it.
So she was upset, and we closed transaction. She calls me afterwards. I touch bases with her, and I tell her like, "Look, what's done is done. I'm really sorry what's going on, but these are minor items. If you like, I can send out my contractor, and I can take care of it for you. Or what would you like to do?" She said, "You know what? Don't worry about it. I appreciate your help." 6 months passed by. I called her back, and she was so shocked to hear from me. She thought, "Alex, I never thought I would hear from you because who really calls?" And second of all, we kind of ended on a bad note. I was like, well, on my end, I ended on a good note because it wasn't really my fault, and I just was calling to wish you congratulations on a 6 month anniversary and how things are coming along, right? So she was happy. She appreciated the call, and it was good. So like you gotta take that whole commission out of the picture. It's all about building relationship, is what I think.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Because
So
I don't know the stats on Realtor Association, how realtors lose in touch with their client. If you did a good or bad job, you still they still lose that connection, which is
yeah,
huge. Because if you did a good job, they're gonna send you business. People love
absolutely.
to share good news and they're proud, like, hey, my realtor did a good job or they
Yeah,
did this. People
yeah.
love to talk.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, it's great. It's great, and it's just doing things by the book and being right. At the end of the day, and sticking to them. Just in their journey of life, the new chapter in life. It's a big transaction, like almost $250,000. It might not be a lot for us because we do it on daily basis, and we do so many of them, right? But
mhm.
for them, it is really a big deal. So it's super important to slow down on some of these transactions.
Especially the small details. I bet you she was happy to hear back from you
Oh yeah,
and to be like, God, he called me 6 months later, and and who knows, life things happen in life,
yeah.
and she might need you to sell that property. And if
Who
you're
knows? Yeah,
there in touch,
yeah.
or she might have a friend or somebody in the business that's looking for an agent.
Right, right, absolutely. But so anything else you want to add to that, or should we head toward ending? I have one more question, and then I wanted to pick your brain on that.
Sure, I think that's it. I think for kind of what we talked about, for those that are listening, just to remind them to, if you're an agent, slow down. If you're a younger agent, if you know you're going to be dealing with an elderly,
Yeah,
don't rush it.
right.
It might not mean to you very much, but you could be one of the most impact thing that they're going to be doing in their life
Yeah,
that they'll remember. Yeah,
cool.
because
So
eventually we'll be there.
the other thing I want to talk to you about is you've been doing it for some time, like 15 years, right? The market. What the heck is going on, right?
I
We
hate
agents are
this
asking
market.
everybody,
I hate it.
what? Well, let me.
Why do I
So
hate it? Oh,
what's
what?
going on with the market? Why do you think the inventory is so low? Do you think the inventory is going to go up? What is the average price per square feet today versus what it was last year, in your opinion? And then I'll share mine. I'll let you go first.
So, okay, I think the market's like this, not just here in Tulare County. I think it's across the whole country.
Right.
Why? Because I have a lot of groups through social media that they're talking the same thing. Lack of inventory, right? Supply and demand, which I think that was 101 on history when we were in high school. Supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
We have no supply and a lot of demand because of the interest rates.
Yeah.
Interest rates are at its low for 51 years, 2 point something percent. So, or under 3%, let's say, because rates change daily. And I think that opened up for more people to purchase a house. So if you were a client that was maybe, the average house, let's say in Porterville was 225.
Yeah.
But now you qualify for more because their interest rate is lower. Your debt to income ratios could go higher.
Yeah.
Now you're in that competition with that group of people that are between that 280, maybe 300,000. Yeah. And I believe I read that we had low inventory since 2008 already, like over, I forgot the stats on it. I don't want to say it because I don't want it to be like, oh, she's, making this up.
Yeah.
But it's a supply and demand issue that's causing this.
How do you think this, in your opinion? Well, so this is what in Kern County for a fact, like right now, an average price per square feet is about 178. Last year it was about 165. So that's a massive increase.
That's an increase because usually I believe that they said what's like 20% to 25% increase from a year, which normally it takes a cycle of small increments per year to get to where we're at now. Yeah.
I mean, I've sold houses about 6-7 months ago, and right now I'm pulling numbers on those specific properties because these clients are reaching. They're like, Alex, I'm seeing this. Is this kind of accurate? And I'm like, yeah, you just got in right in time. Right now, your house is worth good $35,000, maybe $40,000, $50,000 more than what you bought it for, right? The demand is all-time high. I drove by a new construction tract the other day. I called the agent because you just can't walk in because of COVID. It's good to see your face without a mask after all. I walked into the office and they were like, oh no, I called them and I said, hey, I have a client inquiring about a new home track. What does it look like? They're like, we can put you on a wait list and you'll be 143. And I was like, 143? You mean 43 or 143? And she's like, no, 42 people are already ahead of you.
Same here. Crazy.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I mean,
and they can't even quote you on a price. I don't know if that's the same thing in Bakersfield. Because
no.
lumber has increased awesome.
Yeah. A lot. So
like 18, 20 something percent too. Lumber, it's like crazy amount.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll start wrapping this up, but a lot of people are asking me, right? Whether it's agents in the office, clients, people at home, family. Alex, would you buy something in today's market? So my response has been, it depends. Are you going to buy and hold for next 5, 10, 15 years? Or are you thinking about something short term where you're gonna might have to sell in the next 2 to 3 years? Because if that's the case, I don't recommend.
What's up?
It's gonna come down, right? But
I want like this, right?
A correction,
Correction.
I'm anticipating a correction, and we'll even throw this on there. Next 2022 third quarter.
I'm thinking 3 years.
You thinking 2023? Well, we have it on video and it's recorded.
3 years, I think.
Okay.
And then I think they just passed another stimulus, 25,000. I have not read the small print. I just seen it all over. I shouldn't even say that because people are like, "That's not real news." TikTok.
25. Let's dwell on it because I want to know. To 25,000, what per family?
So there's a lot of you can't be if your parents owned a home. You don't qualify for it. It has to be like a new generation that's never owned a home. So there's
so this is geared toward a housing.
Correct. Yeah.
So back in the days, they gave $8,000-9,000.
When the market crashed, because there was when the market crashed, there was a lot of supply and not enough buyers because they all had fear.
Well, so we don't have a buyer demand issue. We have an issue with the seller. So I think they should they should give incentives to sellers that, hey, if you sell your house, we'll give you $50,000 on your write-offs.
Correct. I agree with you 100%.
So I think, and I heard that on a podcast too the other day, but I think that's what they should do versus here's more money, go buy a house.
That seller going to move to if there's a lack of rentals? Because I guarantee you that hopefully somebody will make a comment on our YouTube and agree that they're having issues finding a rental. If it's either for you to live in or, right, for your clients that need to move to a rental. There is like no, and there has been also an increase in the rental department. So we're not, I'm gonna land, right? We don't have extra land. So we can't expand it this way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to talk about rental and investment on our next topic. So I'm not gonna dig into that because that's one subject I'm so passionate about. I absolutely love rentals. You know, so I'll dig into that in our next week, 1 o'clock Zoom appointment, recording, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so Cindy, thank you so much for being part of this journey. I appreciate it. Once again, if anybody have any referrals in Tulare County, goes to Fernandez over here. And if you guys have any referrals for me in Kern County, please feel free to reach out. More than happy to help. And is there anything else you want to add, Cindy?
I think I really appreciate for all those people that are listening to us and also stay till the end.
Absolutely.
And just let them know that Alex and I are going to bring some great value to this channel. I promise. We are both new. This is like our first one. But as we get better, you're going to get some real free content.
Yes, the video is going to get better. The audio might not be good right now, but it'll get better. The lighting is great right now, I think, in my opinion.
Make mistakes, right? So we could get better. The more mistakes we make, Alex, we're going to be like.
It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you, Cindy. And then we'll see everybody else soon next week. Thank you.
Yes. And share it too.